too bad. What we're going to learn is that your spine actually has, technically it has 4 main segments, but as far as your vertebrae bone, you have 3 different flavors. So your neck region is known as what? What's your neck region? Cervical. So up near your neck is the cervical vertebrae. And with an E is plural. Without the E means 1. And I'd like you to know how many you have of that, okay? And so in your neck, you actually have 7. Somebody already knew that. Good. You have 7 of those. And they're numbered C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. So when you hear people like, I hurt my L2 or something, then you'll know what in the heck they're talking about, okay? And so your chest region is known as your thoracic cavity. So this is your thoracic vertebra. Oh, goodness gracious. My board's like, I'm done for the day. Let's stop. It really is. And you have how many of those?
12.
You have 12. Good guess, though. You have 12 of those.
I thought I remembered.
And then your lower back region, sometimes you need to put pillows back there, sometimes you sit back there for what kind of support? Lumbar. This is your lumbar vertebrae. And you have 5 of those. So the way you can remember this, and I didn't make this up, but I do think it's cute, and it might not apply to you. I'm just going to say a lot of people, they eat breakfast at 7 a.m., they eat lunch at 12 noon, 12 p.m. really, and then they eat supper around 5. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then you've got this part here. This is called your sacrum. That there. And then your little bitty tailbone that's coming off of there is your coccyx. So I don't know how well y'all can see. I'll try to zoom in a little bit, but of course we have our cervical, we have our thoracic, and we have our lumbar. If we were just looking at this model, we'll notice that the spine, of course this person's got a kind of a crooked spine going on here. The spine is here, and that's what we can feel as we rub our back. We can feel that the spine here. You can find these little things that are poking out. And if you'll notice, they're real small up here, and they're kind of bent, but as we get into the thoracic, because we're curving here, we've got that curve, they're bending more down, and then they start to become a little nubby down here in the lumbar region. So if you look at the spine, you can see that. So this is making up your spine is actually called the spinous process. So these little things that are poking out are called the spinous process of your vertebrae. We're going to label this in just a moment, okay? And then if you'll look, these little things that are poking to the side, they're going straight across your body. We have a word in anatomy that means straight across. Transverse. These are going to be transverse processes, the ones that are coming poking out. So these are transverse processes, these are spinous processes because these are making up your spine, these are coming straight out. I'll turn to the side. Can you see that there are these little yellow things poking out? These are nerves. Okay, so we've got some nerves coming out the side, and they're coming out this hole. So we know that the word hole is a foramen, especially a nerve that a hole that a nerve is going to come through. And this hole is actually going in between the 2 vertebrae. So these are actually called the intervertebral foramens because they're the hole that's going in between 2 vertebrae. Does that make sense? So you've got the spinous process, the transverse process, and the intervertebral foramen. We're going to label our little thing as we move. So on this picture, the best we can, so they're there, but I'm going to draw them here. These little things right here that are poking out the back, they're also right there. You can see them there. These are called the spinous process. Spinous process. I'm going to label down here because you can see it a little bit better. We got the rib cage in the problem there. These that are going straight across are the transverse process. And then on this diagram, can you see these little holes in between? There are nerves that come out of those little holes. That is the intervertebral or vertebra. Let's stop. And it's a hole, so it's going to end with foramen. Make sense so far?